Hey, I'm Don Vinh, and this is Seattle Eats, a food podcast from the Seattle Times and KUOW. Not all foods taste the same year-round. Take the Seattle dog. It tastes completely different outside the stadium in July than it does in February. You got the same cream cheese, the same grilled onions, but admit it, the experience is different when you get to wear shorts. It's sunny, and that summer buzz is alive. Today, I'm joined by Rachel Belle. She's a host of the podcast Your Last Meal and the local PBS series The Nosh. She and I are going to talk about our favorite bites this summer, from restaurants and some homemade dishes. And we will tell you which ones you should try before the season ends. Ready? Let's go! Hey, Seattle Eaters! Rachel Belle is in the house. She's a host of the food podcast, Your Last Meal, and also the local PBS series, The Nosh. And she's also a cookbook author. And I know she's in a good mood because I saw her strutting down the hall as if she was doing the Soul Train line on the Jennifer Hudson show.
I've always wanted to do that.
Well, Rachel, we're here to talk about food. You love food. I love food. But the difference is I just love to eat. You love to eat and cook. You even wrote a freaking cookbook.
That's right.
Summer food means different things to different people.
Yeah.
For some, it's a cold salad. For others, it's frying up the grill. So I want to know, what are some of the best bites you had in June, July, or August, and why that screams summer to you?
Sure. Do you want to do I do one, you do one? Are we going to go back and forth?
That sounds like a plan.
So I'm going to start with a restaurant dish because the others I was thinking of are homemade. I love Brimmer and Heeltap. They have this patio in the back that feels like one of the best kept secrets in Seattle. So cute to sit in their little garden outside. It's just such a lovely energy there. And I think it's one of the best restaurants in the city. I live very close to it. I hardly ever go. Do you do this? It's like, I love that place. I'd be so sad if it closes. I never go there. It's so weird. But I went recently, which is going to remind me to go all of the time. They have this salad on the menu right now that's super seasonal. It's heirloom tomatoes. There's chunks of melon. There's this crispy quinoa and soft herbs, but it's all on this super creamy little swoop of chev that it seems like it must be whipped. And the melon and the tomatoes are just peak season. It's so good. You get that creaminess from the cheese. You get the little crispy bits from that quinoa. Herbs make everything better. I mean, it's summer on a plate. It's heirloom tomatoes. It's melon. It's these foods that you can only get this time of year. And it is fleeting. Like, this dish is not going to be there very long. But the thing you have to order with it, and I did a little roundup in my newsletter recently about how many places have great bread in this area because I keep getting served good bread. Have you had the bread at Brimmer and Heeltap?
I have not. So tell me about this bread. What's so special about it?
All that it says on the menu is bread. It's so easy to not order this because you're like, I've had bread. I don't care. So I thought that the way that they did this was that they had a special loaf pan that they made it in because the outside is so crispy and the inside is so soft and chewy and the whole thing is just like a butter sponge. And they have a steak knife stabbed in the middle of it and it comes out and it's still hot. And you saw off a big chunk and you bite into it and you get all that crisp and shattering crust. And then it feels like a mix between brioche and fried bread. Like if you just took a slice, like a thick slice of bread and like put it in a pan with a lot of butter and salt. But I messaged the owner, Jen, about this recently. I was like, what is happening? How is this bread so good? I don't understand. And she says they cut a big chunk off of a loaf from Grand Central Bakery, their Como loaf. It's 3 inches thick and they just baste it with butter and put it in the oven and then they like finish it in the pan. And then as it comes out, they put fresh cracked pepper and flaky salt on it. And it's one of the best chunks of warm buttery bread I've ever had in my life.
What made you order the bread? Because like you said, on the menu, it just says bread. That doesn't scream, wow, I have to get this bread.
To be honest, somebody else ordered it against my will. So now I force the bread on other people every time I go. And it's really good with this salad too, because of course, if you have tomatoes and you have melon, then you have this juice that is like running all over the plate. And so you can slurp it up and sop it up with this bread. It's kind of perfect. I mean, actually, if you're not super hungry, just going and getting the bread in this tomato melon salad is enough for dinner.
Oh, I love this. Bread as a sponge.
Bread as a sponge. They actually call it the butter sponge at the restaurant, like behind in the kitchen. That's their nickname for it.
Oh, now I gotta get it. I'm not a salad person, but I will eat bread with butter and salt. Mm-hmm. That sounds delicious.
It's so good.
Okay. All right. So that was a salad from Brimmer and Heeltap in Ballard. And let's stick to Ballard. I am going to pick my favorite, and I'm going to go with a place called La Marea, a Mexican seafood restaurant inside Fair Isle Brewing in the Ballard Brewery District. Have you been?
I've never even heard of this place.
I begrudgingly coughed this one up because it is so packed already. The line is absurd.
Huh.
So you got to get there when they open at 5 p.m. Otherwise, a lot of the items will be sold out by, say, 6:30. A lot of people get there before 5, and they just wait in the beer garden or the patio. Because when you're in the beer patio, you can see the kitchen. You can see when they get ready to open the door. And there's a mad dash to get to the front of the line.
I can't believe I haven't heard about this.
And that's the problem. There is no sign of this Mexican seafood restaurant. It is just says Fair Isle Brewing. And you just got to know that these guys are making the food. And it's mostly ceviche and seafood tostada. It's hard for me to give you one specific dish, Rachel, because it rotates daily. And you actually want this to happen because it's all about raw seafood here. So it's whatever the fresh catch of the day is. So you go one day, the tostada could be ahi tuna or hamachi, which is two of the choices you often get. And a third wild card tostada could be albacore, octopus, scallop. And it's matched with often salsa matcha or something citrusy. And it is great. It is one of the best things you can get, I think, in Ballard, actually in the city now. And it screams summer to me because it's not cooking, right? It's pretty much assembling like raw seafood on a tostada with some sauce. It's just light. It's just fresh. It just screams summer to me. Even though it's a Mexican seafood restaurant, they do a lot of flavors from different regions. They do seafood tostada with flavors from North Africa and Spain and Peru and even Korea. I had a scallop and tuna tostada with gochujang, spicy cucumber salad, and sea urchin aioli with some peppercorn. It is so good. Like I said, it's hard to name one tostada, but I would say just get whatever seafood tostada is on the menu of the day. If you come late, you don't have a choice. It's whatever they have left over. That's how they roll.
I am so excited about this because that is exactly the kind of food I want to eat in the summer and actually all year round. I already love Fair Isle. They specialize in saisons. They're one of the few breweries in the entire country that uses wild yeast, where at some point they actually like went out into the forest or wherever and like brought back plants and extracted the yeast and let that, become what they used to brew beer. They were known for their burger. That was actually really hard to get. I had to go 3 or 4 times before I was able to order it because that also went fast.
Right.
But it was a very kind of meat-heavy, Frenchy kind of European menu. So I had no idea that they switched into ceviche land.
They did. And you need to go right now because the 2 owners is Chef Bo and his life and business partner, Lisbeth Dones. And they're going on vacation, so they're going to shut it down on September 13th. And they won't be back again until the end of the month. But you definitely want to hit it. It's every day except they take Wednesday off. So that's the one day they don't do the seafood tostada.
This is bad for my schedule. I come back from vacation on September 13th. Why are they doing this to me?
Well, you got to go before September 13th.
Okay.
That's the way to go. And again, I should tell listeners, listen to me on this. Trust me. They open at 5. You want to be there at 5. Come at 7 and you could be staring at a sign that says sold out.
I thought you were going to do a little rhyme. It's like, come at 5, you'll be in heaven. Come if you will not if you come at 7. No. I'm working on it.
There you go. So that was the seafood tostada at La Marea, the hot spot inside Fair Isle Brewing. Back to you, Rachel. What do you have for another bite?
Well, I have this podcast called Your Last Meal, and I interview celebrities about what they would choose for their last meals. And sometimes I learn about dishes that I've never heard of when these people come on the show. And I had Iron and Wine on, which it sounds like a band, but it's actually one person, a man named Sam Beam. It's not a whole band called Iron and Wine. It's just him. And he is from South Carolina. And his last meal, part of it at least, is a stack of tomato sandwiches. Now, I know just when I hear those words what a tomato sandwich is, but I had never had or knew the specifics or the obsession with a tomato sandwich from the Carolinas, which is squishy white bread. You know, it could be Wonder Bread. Like, you're not trying to get anything quality here. Duke's mayonnaise in particular, which is a Southern brand that you can now get in this area. I buy it at Fred Meyer. I'm so happy about that. And then the best tomato that you can get. For me, I wait till the end of the summer when my own are ripe, which it can be until September. It is just so painful waiting for these freaking tomatoes so I can have my sandwich. And I like heirloom tomatoes, and I like them to be orange. Mine is very specific. So you take the squishy white bread, you put a very thick layer of Duke's mayonnaise, you put these thick slices of tomato, then I like to put some flaky salt, Maldon usually, and then the juices of the tomato intermingle with the mayonnaise to make this kind of aioli. And it is so hard to explain. It makes no sense how the sum of these parts taste so good. Like, this is not something you make and you sit down. It's like, we're going to eat this now. You stand at the counter and you make it and you eat it. You make another one and you eat it. I like them open faced because I don't need that second piece of bread getting in the way of my tongue hitting the tomato. And also then I can eat more of them because I'm not filling up on that second piece of bread. Oh my God, I just went into a coma. Get the smelling salts. My mouth is watering. I want one right now. The simplicity is what makes this so craveable.
Yeah. My epiphany, Rachel, is like when I went to Italy, I think in college, and I went to the island of Capri, and that's when I just fell in love with the flavor, the taste of just fresh tomato. And it's just salt. So I get your sandwich.
Thank you.
I totally get it.
Well, in this country, you know, unless you grew up with a garden, I think most of us were used to eating only grocery store tomatoes, which are not good. And I grew up not liking tomatoes at all. It wasn't until I was 28 that somebody fed me a sun-gold tomato off the vine that I realized, oh, this is what a tomato is supposed to taste like. So sometimes I'm still surprised that I love a sandwich like this because it goes against most of my life of really thinking that tomatoes are bad and gross.
Okay. So, Rachel, I will see your tomato sandwich and I will raise you a watermelon slushie.
Ooh.
I'm going to throw you a curve. It's going to be a drink for one of my best bites.
Best slurps.
Best slurps. There you go. So, the drink I'm thinking about is at Radiator Whiskey. They started in Pike Place Market, but they recently opened in Ballard. Radiator Whiskey, if you have not been, is whiskey forward. Most of their drink menus are like, I would call it brown and stirred drinks, a lot of Manhattans, a lot of Rue Carré, boozy drinks. And only in Ballard can you get this non-alcohol watermelon slushie. So I request from the bartender, hey, can you please put mezcal in my drink?
Oh, I bet that's good.
It is delicious.
Do you know if there's anything else in it besides frozen watermelon, maybe sugar?
Better than sugar, agave. So It's watermelon, it's agave, I believe it's lime. So it just cries for mezcal. And if you never had mezcal is like where Islay whiskey meets tequila. It has this savory, smoky note, so like barnyard funk. And not only, I think, is this the best drink, best summer drink, most refreshing drink, but it's also probably the cheapest drink you can get in Ballard outside of happy hour. Because the watermelon slushie is only $9, and you can spike it with any booze they have for $5. So it's actually under $15. And all their cocktails are like $15 to $20. In fact, that's the going rate. It's $16 to $23 for a cocktail in Ballard. So I'm saving you money with this hack, people. So leave it up to me to find the one drink that does not have alcohol. Leave it to me to make that drink into a cocktail. The bartender looked at me like, are you serious? You want me to spike it? Rude.
I think that that's going to become a permanent menu item, honestly. I bet he's going to try it and be like, oh, that guy has a point. That's very good.
So back to you. What is your third pick?
My third pick, since it's my last pick, is dessert. I think besides tomatoes, the best thing about summer is berries. And we are kind of right in the thick of berry season. Last night, someone brought over a bunch of huge blackberries, raspberries from their bush. Like if you go to the farmer's market, berries everywhere. And so I made a pie that was, I was going to say the best pie I've ever made, but I realized I'd only made 2 pies completely from scratch.
Wow, that's 2 more pies than I ever made.
Yeah, for those who haven't heard, your oven is filled with shoes.
Yes.
Comes up a lot.
It does. That's true. I do not bake, so I don't use my oven. The only pie I ever made, Rachel, was a Frito pie. And I didn't even make the chili. It was just like leftover chili, and I had Frito, and I had potato chips, and that's what I did. But sorry, I'm filibustering your pick.
Yes. So as somebody who cooks a lot, who is not intimidated by project cooking, somehow I have been intimidated by making pie dough. But I found the perfect recipe, and it is in the book Pie School, which has been on my shelf for a decade, but I just hadn't really used it before. It's by a woman who happens to be a friend of mine named Kate Lebo. She is a pie maker. She is a poet. She is an essayist. She's won awards for her writing. She's judged pies at some of the biggest state fairs in the country. And her book not only has amazing recipes, it's the instruction that she gives that is so great, because I think with something like making pie crust, it's less about the ingredients and it's more about the technique. And the style in which she walks you through it makes it so easy to understand. So I made her rhubarb raspberry pie.
Wait, you said raspberry, not strawberry.
Not strawberry.
Oh, I'd never had it any other way than rhubarb strawberry.
If you're somebody who really loves rhubarb and you want that tartness of the rhubarb, I feel like the raspberry allows the rhubarb to still shine through and stay a little bit tart, because raspberry can have like a little bit of tart notes instead of the strawberry coming in and bringing all of this sweetness. I actually prefer it to a strawberry rhubarb pie. So I made this pie. It was so freaking good. She has 3 different recipes for pie crust in her book, and I went with the all butter recipe.
Oh, wow. And how was the crust?
It was so perfect. It was flaky, but not where it kind of crumbles, into dust. It was like that perfect, very tender, flaky crust. I mean, honestly, it was the most perfect crust I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, it's excellent.
All right. Rachel, for my third pick, I'm going to take us north to downtown Bellingham. The place is called Carnal. It is a meat-centric restaurant. Beef ribs, hell, even the French fries is seasoned with beef fat. It is, for those who have never been, I think one of the best restaurants north of Seattle. The menu is so fatty rich. I know that doesn't scream summer, but the reason I picked this place, because recently the owners put this place up for sale. So there's a good chance, the new owners will have a new menu or change the concept. So you really should go while it is still under the same ownership. It's not the kind of food you eat in the summer, but it's just delicious. If I had to pick a dish there, I would say the beef ribs are excellent. But we need to talk more about this in terms of what restaurants mean. And this is a great third place for the community. It's an anchor for downtown Bellingham, and hopefully it stays alive. So I would encourage listeners, if you get a chance for a day trip or a staycation, go to Bellingham, check out this restaurant while it's still under the same ownership. Great restaurants. You're going to love this.
That's the beauty of the Pacific Northwest. You can eat soup in the summer. We've got some rainy days. We've got some cool nights. It's not so hot here all the time. So one day you can have your cold watermelon slushie, and then the next day it's pouring and you can have beef ribs in Bellingham.
Yes, and they even have a patio. So there you go. That's my summer hook. Go to Bellingham for this patio restaurant. Okay, we have ceviche, we have tomato sandwiches, we have cold salads. We're washing it all down with a watermelon slushie. Looks like the making of a great picnic or potluck.
I'd come. I mean, if you're from around here, it is fleeting. So go out and enjoy all of these foods before they're gone and we fully transition into cold, dark autumn and winter.
There you go. Rachel Belle, that's a great tip. Thanks for coming on the show. Now you got me all hungry.
I know. Thank you so much for having me. This is my dream, talking about food with friends.
That's it for today. We have a list of all the restaurants we talked about in the description of this episode. Thanks for listening to Seattle Eats. The show is a production of the Seattle Times and KUOW, part of the NPR network. You can support Seattle Eats by investing in the local newsroom and the specialized beats that make this sort of storytelling possible. Please consider joining and subscribing at kuow.org/eats and seattletimes.com. Seattle Eats is produced by Brandy Fullwood and Claire McGrain and edited by Jim Gates and Trevor Lensmeyer. I'm Tom Vinh. See you next week.